Timbersports individual competition.
Hello and welcome everyone to the British Rookie Championship 2021. A big day is ahead of us. I hope you're mentally as prepared and as ready as I am, because it's gonna be legendary. Today in Tilford on site, our athletes from two different nations are gonna compete, from England and Wales, and it's the 5th British Championship. It's going to be legendary, as I just said, because they are highly motivated, and highly motivated as well is the person standing right next to me, Yolanda Hagman. She is a Timbersports athlete herself, and today will be our expert for this championship. Yolanda, how are you doing?
Hey, Pia. It's a pleasure to be here. I am great and so excited to see these young gentlemen compete in their championships this year.
Oh, I am as well. But of course, Yolanda will not be the only one sharing her expertise and giving insights on the point of view of the athletes. But our field reporter, Alex, will do that as well. He's in Telford. Alex, how are you doing? Well, he will be there soon. I guess he's having some troubles with connection.
Okay, Pia, we were staying in the studio.
We are staying in the studio. I guess we will meet Alex later on. No, I'm sure we will. And we will start with the introduction of the athletes, because these are the guys who everything is about. And yeah, let's go. We want to take a closer look, because 3 of them have already been at the Rookie World Championship, but also another 3 of them are new. It's their first championship, and I guess they're going to be excited. Now let's see who's going to compete. First of all, Ben Scott. He's 25 years old, 90 kilogram. Yeah, and with his 1.94 meters, he's the tallest guy in this competition. It's his first appearance on a STIHL Timbersports Rookie Championship. And yeah, second is Luke Bray, it's his second Rookie Championship. And he got into Timbersports because of his family, and he will do his best. The third one is George Spencer, who's 25 years old, and he's the smallest guy at the competition, which can be good for him as well. He's 168 centimeters tall, and he's a new rookie competitor. The fourth competitor is Oliver Pierroni, who is one of the 2 youngest guys today. He's only 19 years old, and another new rookie competitor. We'll keep an eye on him, because apparently he has great potential.
Pia, wir kommen danach wieder.
Another competitor is Jordan Muscato, who's, I hope I pronounce him correctly, it's his 3rd appearance today at a Rookie Championship, and he has jobbed in Italy on behalf of Great Britain once, so he's pretty excited about today, and he has big goals and big dreams. He wants to win the World Rookie Championship, of course. Next up is Jack Morris, who's the second one of the 2 youngest. He's also 19 years old, and he's the lightest one, 70 kilogram. It's his 2nd championship, and his brother, he was a pro, now isn't anymore because of injuries, but he's following in his footsteps. And yeah, now John Bauman is our next man. It's his 3rd Rookie Championship, and he is generally very much into fitness. And he said his favorite discipline is the underhand job, so we'll see him there. And now Jack Buffner is there as well, of course. He won the Rookies Stock Saw in 2019. He's from Wales, and it's his 2nd Rookie Championship. He's in a 3rd generation chopper, and he's the first one of the family who competes in Timbersports, so he's gonna do a great performance, I guess, and we'll get right into it, I'd say. Today, the format, as you know, it's a Rookie Championship, and all you gotta know about this format is following now.
In the first round, all athletes compete in 3 disciplines: the underhand chop, the stock saw, and the standing block chop. The times achieved will be converted into points upon completion of each discipline. In round 1, a difference of 1 point applies in each discipline, thus the fastest athlete received 12 points and the slowest only 1 point. Any rule infraction will result in a disqualification, and the athlete will receive 0 points for that discipline. At the end of the first round, the athletes with the lowest scores are eliminated. Only 8 athletes make it to the second round. In this second round, the remaining athletes compete in the single buck and the springboard for increased scores. With 2 points difference between placings, the fastest athlete now receives 16 points and the slowest receives 2. The 2 athletes with the lowest total points are eliminated at the end of round 2. Only the top 6 reach the third round. In the third round, anything is still possible in the hot saw, as an increased score interval of 3 points applies in this final round. The fastest athlete can score up to 18 points at the hot saw, the slowest only 3 points. The athlete who manages to achieve the highest total score across all 3 rounds is the new champion.
And we're starting with the third discipline, the stock saw discipline, which is a hard one according to some British rookie athletes. Why and what the clue about this discipline is, you're gonna know that in a second.
The STIHL MS661 CM stock saw is used in STIHL Timbersports as the ultimate test of operator skill. Designed for the toughest jobs in forestry, it produces approximately 7.3 horsepower, has a displacement of 91.1 cc, and weighs 7.4 kilograms. To ensure evenly and fairly matched saws, professional STIHL technicians prepare and test the saws before each competition. Stock saw. After the starting shot, the contestants have to cut 2 wooden discs, so-called cookies, within a 10-centimeter mark, 1 downward and 1 upward. The attempt is only valid when both discs have been cut off completely and within the marks.
So, about the start list. In the first heat, Scott is gonna go up against Bray. In the second heat, Spencer is going to compete against Pierroni. In the third heat, Muscato against Morris. And our last pairing in this discipline will be Baumann going up against Buffner. But you probably already have wondered where the super funny guy is who always explains and comments on the athlete's actions. Well, obviously, he's not here today, at least not physically, but he still accompanies us through the championship. However, this time only vocally. So I want to say hello. Troy, how are you doing, man?
Hi, Pia. I'm good, thank you. Looking forward to getting this contest underway and seeing how these rookies really get down to business in Tilford. So yeah, we'll have a lot of fun with this one today, I think.
I think so too. It's gonna be thrilling.
And we're going into this journey on stage, Pia.
All right, so here come our athletes on stage, and as you heard from Pia, the lineup looks like that, with Ben Scott going up against Luke Bray to start the competition off. The national record for the stock saw is 10.49. The world record, by the way, was recently achieved by Edvin Karlsson at the European Nations Cup in this year. Was a 9.86. So these guys will be definitely keeping that number in mind. But for them today, it's just about getting the best possible time they can get. So this is a very important aspect for them. It's not necessarily about competing against the other guy on stage. That, of course, helps the situation because your adrenaline flows. You can see what the other guy is doing. But it's about getting the fastest time possible in the competition today.
Your sauce. Athletes ready.
All right. It seems like we've got a bit of an issue with the way that these guys have been given the starting shot. They didn't hear it, so they'll have to do a restart here. So they've shut down the motors on their saws, and they will get another opportunity here.
3, 2, 1, go!
It's loud enough for you? You could hear it? Yeah?
Ah, now I understand what the problem was. The start call was not loud enough for the guys. They are wearing protective ear protection, so they probably didn't hear it over the noise of the engine and through their ear protection. So they will once again warm up their saws, and we'll have an opportunity for these guys to go again. Ben Scott on the left-hand side of your screen, and you're looking at Luke Bray right there. There's a picture of Ben Scott. Here we go. All right, Luke Bray heard that call. Ben Scott obviously didn't, so Luke Bray with a definite advantage getting in there a bit faster. Nice transition on the upcut, and Ben Scott struggling a little bit to try and catch up. And we've got a 13:22 for Luke Bray, a personal best for him, a 16:76 for Ben Scott. That's a personal best for him, but I guarantee you 100% that that cut from Ben Scott would have been much faster had he heard that call at the start. So that might be an issue for these guys if the sound of the starter is not loud enough, especially in these disciplines where there's a lot of extra noise going on. Interestingly enough, let's just wait for the call here.
Both cuts are good.
All right, so we have 2 good cuts. That means 2 good cookies on the deck for these guys. And we have our first set of competitions, at least with a little bit of bumpiness out of the way. And now we will get ready for our next heat coming up. And that's going to be between George Spencer and Oliver Pierroni. Before we get to that, though, we're going to take a quick look at the slow-mo. And there you see that green flash that was below. That indicates that it's actually a go, but the guys are also listening for the start. And there you see Ben Scott. He had a really nice approach to the log there with a good thin cookie to start things off. On Spencer's side, or Luke Bray, excuse me, you could see he had a great transition with a thicker cookie on the upstroke. And for Ben Scott, it was also a bit of a thicker cookie on the upstroke, but it was a bit of a delay at the start that was the problem for him with his time. Nevertheless, he's got himself a personal best. So, moving on to our next heat, George Spencer up against Oliver Pierroni. A lot of these guys also say that this is one of those disciplines where it's real easy to go south with a DQ if something doesn't happen exactly the way it's supposed to happen. For instance, cutting out on the cookie or cutting over that line at the 10 centimeters. So George Spencer there will be on stand A on the left-hand side of your screen when we go to that big wide open frame. And Oliver Pierroni will be on the right-hand side there. There you see Oliver now marking his log. Both of these guys, by the way, are brand new rookie competitors, but in George Spencer's case, because he's 25 years old, this will be his last rookie competition, so he ages out after this and will move on to the pro division. For Oliver Pierroni, this is his second year is his second year training with STIHL Timbersports, so he is really fresh into the event here. A lot of mental preparation going on in this particular discipline to make sure that you've got the lift and the cut lineup absolutely perfect. And this is going to be important to start. All right, good start for both of these guys. George Spencer, from my view, was a little bit faster onto the block. Nice bottom out cut, but he had to reset on Oliver Pierroni's side. And George Spencer gets it in, 12.83. That's a personal best for both of these guys, a 14.98 for Oliver Pierroni. Good job. But George Spencer's time of 12.83 puts him at the top of the list so far in stock saw.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
So good cuts all around so far. George Spencer at the top of the stock star results after 2 heats, with Luke Bray sitting in second place. Oliver Pierroni with a 14.38 sits in third place, and Ben Scott, by virtue of a bit of a slow start, is sitting down there in fourth place with another couple of heats to come. So let's take a look back at the slow-mo here. George Spencer with a really nice grab and lift on that. A lot of pressure from the shoulders from Oliver Pierroni. Very nice job from George Spencer, though. Puts him at the top of the list there. A little bit of a celebration. And we go on to heat number 3 for stock saw. Jordan Muscato going up against Jack Morris. As you heard, Jordan Muscato has also competed in Italy, and obviously he's got some fans in the audience there, as you can hear them screaming and yelling as they come out on stage. Jordan Muscato will be on the left-hand side of your screen with Jack Morris on the right. Jordan Muscato has admitted that he tends to be very good at getting DQs with the stock saw, so he'll be concentrating very, very much so on making sure that his saw block is marked up correctly and being sure that he is absolutely on point with his cuts. Definitely don't want to cut out, and definitely don't want to cut across that 10-centimeter marking line.
Okay, warm up your saws.
All right, here we go.
Athletes ready.
10 keyboard timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, good even start for both of these guys. Jordan Muscato with a deep start. Jack Morris got through it just now. Nice transition by Jack Morris, but Jordan Muscato looks like he's got the advantage, but Jack Morris is caught up, and he's passed him to come in just ahead of Jordan Muscato. A 14.22 for Morris and a 14.99 for Muscato. What a great upstroke from Jack Morris. And so far, so good for both of these guys. Let's see if they get all cuts are good.
Both cuts are good.
Well, no DQ for Jordan Muscato, so there's no fear of that happening for this one for him. That's a good thing. And both of those guys will leave the stage, with Jack Morris moving into third place in the stock star results, and Jordan Muscato with his 14.77 after adjustment is sitting in fourth. Oh, very nice first cookie, though. That was Jordan Muscato's first cookie. They say thin to win, and that was thin as it gets. All right, moving on to our next and final heat in stock saw. We have Jake Buffner and John Bowerman going up against each other. All right, so we've got a little bit of an update here for you folks as well. This heat between John Bowerman and Jake Buffner will go on as normal, but we will go back and we will redo heat number 1 with Ben Scott and Luke Bray. By virtue of their starts and them not hearing the start gun, the judging staff in the Competition Control Center deemed it was not a fair heat, so they will get a chance to go back and do it again.
From Wales, Jake Buffner, and from Dorset, England, John Bowerman.
So John Bowerman, this is his 3rd rookie championship. And Jake Buffner is actually, he's a 3rd generation shopper, but he's the first one in the family to actually get into timber sports. So he's got a bit of a pedigree, but not in timber sports. Let's see how he does in his rookie competition here. John Bowerman has a pedigree as well, as far as being a bit of a, let's call him a veteran rookie, being this is his third rookie competition. Or rookie championship, excuse me. All right, here we go.
Athletes ready.
Timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Two different styles of cutting here. Jake Buffton deeper on the motor of the saw, and John Bowerman, oh, he's got a bit of a cutout. He's got a problem here. If he doesn't recognize that and do another cut, he's going to have a DQ. He's seen it, so he's going to have a slower time, but he's going to have that second complete cookie in order for that time to count, and it looks like it's going to be okay, but that time is really going to cost him. So Jake Buffton with a 14-13, and the judges will check quickly the cookies that have been cut. That is a very thin first cookie there. So Jake Buffton gets the nod. And there you see the flag on the play, so they'll check the line to make sure there's no cut over the line. As we did notice, that he did cut out of that first or the second cookie on his way up, so good that he recognized that, and hopefully his third cookie will count. But it looks like there is going to be a cut out on the line as well. They'll take a very, very close look at this. That would be an unfortunate situation for John Bowerman to have a DQ here, but they will take a very close look to make sure that everything is fair, discuss the situation, and make a final call on it, because it is, as you see, with the finger indication, very, very close. Judge's final decision coming up. Here we go.
Okay, we're investigating a cut line on the underside of the block. However, upon review, both cuts are good.
Whew. Sigh of relief for John Bowerman. So his time, 13:60, is actually not correct. He has a time of 21:44. They did stop the electronic clock after the second cookie was dropped, but he had to go back and cut another cookie. And George Spencer is at the top of the rankings so far with a 12.67. As we take a look back here. So there's the start cut from Jake Buffton. And the upcut there from John Bowerman, and that's where the problem occurred for him, as he was cutting out. His saw angle was just too much, and then he recognized it, luckily went back and cut again, but he didn't have a lot of space as he went down deep and got very close to the line. Some nerve-wracking moments there as the judges checked to make sure that he didn't cut over the line completely, and that gave him his time of 21:44. Unfortunately, pretty slow time, but that's the way the cookie crumbles in this case.
And it gives me great pleasure to give an official welcome onto the stage. First up, from Martley, Worcestershire, it's Luke Bray. He closely follows from...
All right, so we're going to go back to that first heat again between Ben Scott and Luke Bray. Now, if you're just joining us, what happened there is this is a re-race, we'll call it, of the first heat, because the guys didn't hear the start signal. And they did actually finally get cuts going, but Ben Scott started a lot slower than I believe he should have, because he didn't notice that the signal had gone. So now it's an opportunity for both of these guys to go back and re-race this one and see if they can improve on their first heat times. Lucky break for both of these young men. Ben Scott doing a lot of checking there to make sure that he is absolutely lined up. He's a big man as well, 6'4", so 190 centimeters.
Okay, warm up your saws.
194 centimeters tall, so yeah, big boy. All right, these guys are absolutely fired up for this second one for sure. Ben Scott, Luke Bray,
ready.
a reheat. Now we got it. Nice thin first cut for Ben Scott. Luke Bray, good upstroke. Ben Scott looks like he might be, oh, so much faster, but it wasn't. Luke Bray, 13:62. Ben Scott, he gets his personal best back. So he did do a great job. Ben Scott now sitting in third place and getting a personal best. Luke Bray with a 13:47 sits in second place in the stock saw results, and George Spencer atop those results with a 12:67, and that will also be what our overall standings will look like at the moment as well. That was a much better heat than the first heat around, where neither one of these guys, oh no, we've got a flag on the play. That would be a disaster for Luke Bray if he gets DQ'd after having to rerun, because his first cuts were very good. But look at the size of that second cookie. Holy smokes, folks. That thing is a door stopper. All right, let's see what the judges have to say here.
Okay, we're investigating a cut line on stand 2. However, upon investigation, both cuts are good.
And another sigh of relief, this time by Luke Bray, as his time will count. So at the moment, he sits in second place in stock saw, with Ben Scott just behind him in third, as we take a look back at the quick highlights here of this one redone heat after a bit of a jumpy and rocky start for us today. Look at that first cookie. Oh, we don't get to see it as cleanly again, but maybe we'll get another view of it here. That first cookie from Ben Scott was beautiful. The second cookie was a bit thick, and you could also see the second cookie from Luke Bray was a monster. And I thought it was going to be Ben Scott coming up on that upcut through first, but it was Luke Bray with just a little bit of a faster upcut. And there you see our stock saw results.
And a lot of personal bests. But now I'm happy to introduce our field reporter who's gonna interview George Spencer, who's first until now. So, hello Alex, how are you doing?
Hi Nick, hope we're all well. It's great to be here finally after a year lost to the pandemic. No timber sports in this country in 2020, but I'm delighted to welcome you to Telford and our 5th British Rookie Championships, which is underway as we know. I'm joined, and I'm glad to say, by George Spencer, aged 25, British competitor. George, this is your last year with the rookies. It's your first year with the rookies and your last, because you're getting on a bit now.
Well, it's cheeky, steady. No, I know, I'm looking forward to the pros really next year. But I think my goal for this year is, well, I'm here to win it. You got to win it, haven't you? Otherwise, well, why turn up?
Now, you just performed there in Heat 2. How do you feel it went?
Yeah, it went well, to be fair. The wood's been it was a bit harder up there than it has been at the training camps. I mean, like when you start putting a bit of pressure on the saw, even when you lift it up, like it was binding quite easy. So just got to let it cut and just put a bit behind it. And no, it went well in the end. So no, pretty pleased. I was so nervous up there as well, which didn't help.
Do you know what, mate? You didn't look it at all. Now, I've heard the wood this season is a little bit softer than in previous years. Have you encountered that yourself?
Well, occasionally we come across a soft block, but just even setting up the logs backstage and just putting the footholes in the block, yeah, no, it looks like it's going to be some good wood to chop with.
Now, what's your favourite event in the Timber Sports Rookies? Because we only got 4 disciplines.
Yeah. No, I'd say my favourite event in the rookies is definitely the standing block. I've been enjoying that over the last year, training that pretty hard. But no, I'd say overall I love the hot saw.
Are there any of your other competitors that we should be looking out for, George?
Yeah, I think Jack Morris, he's a bit of a dark horse. I chopped with him, well, I'm lucky enough to chop with the Welsh Axeman down at Knighton, and he's one of the up-and-coming stars, so he's definitely one to look out for today.
I was going to say the camaraderie around the camp is great. I mean, you've had a year out, obviously, with no timber sports at all, but how are things backstage?
Oh, yeah, it's good. Obviously, everyone's being not as chatty as normally because you've got to try and get your head in the game, but No, it's good. Everyone's here to help each other out, and it's nice to see some of the boys that have come into it, and they haven't really got the availability of teams around them, so they're sort of lone rangers, and like everyone sort of helps them out, and no, it's just a big making friends, really. And
we wish you all the very best for the remaining sets of the competition. All the best to you.
Well, what an interview, what a nice guy. So we know the way from the rookies to the pros is a hard one. We know that for sure. But the way from the newcomers and the beginners to the rookies, that's hard too, isn't it? You've done Timbersports since 2006, I think. How long did it take for you from your first training until your first competition?
Well, I started at the university, so we went very quickly into the competitions. But in the pro or intermediate level or rookie level, you do need to train a year or two, depending on from what background you come from.
Yeah, so you can't just start right into it with the championships, can you?
No, the best way to do it is to go through STIHL newcomer camp that they offer every year. So if you're from GB, get in contact with STIHL GB over their email address, timbersports@stihl.co.uk, and send them your name and contact information.
Yeah, because some people, do it from day one because it's a family tradition thing, and others, they participate in a rookie academy, and all you need to know about that is following now.
Bart Jensen's training camp in Holland, the rookie training camp.
It's a great experience because there are 3 national champions, Hans-Ove Hansen, Christoph Geisler, Martin Komarek, so it's fantastic.
I feel better prepared. It's nice to have 3 champions who help us for the training. Is I think the best way to grow up and to do stronger and better.
The knowledge of the experienced athletes, that's the key how we can move the sport and the new generation forward.
There is a lot of good rookies here today. They are a little bit tensed, they are a little bit nervous, but the level is high. So I'm looking forward to see the competition.
I hope when the athletes go home tomorrow night, they are excited for the next competition. They had some experience this weekend. They learned special things about the wood and equipment, and they feel well for the real big competitions.
So all the potential we have just seen and heard from, we hope we'll get to see that now in the next discipline, the standing block job. It's the most similar one to felling a tree, but it's quite hard as well, so all you need to know about the tool and the discipline itself is coming up now.
Standing block chop. At the standing block chop, the felling of a tree with an axe is simulated. A vertically positioned wooden block with a diameter of 30 centimeters has to be cut through both sides. A powerful and precise swing with the axe is the premise of a good result.
So let's take a closer look at the second discipline and its starting list. In the first heat, Oliver Pierroni is going up against John Baumann. In the second one, Ben Scott against Jack Morris. In the third heat, Jack Buffner, is competing against Luke Bray. That was correct. And in the fourth heat, George Spencer against Jordan Muscato. And now we're gonna go back to the stage.
Stand 1, Oliver Pierroni and John Bowman.
Okay, Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Pierroni going up against John Bowerman, and they're in the middle of it. It's looking quite good. Both at their first side haven't turned around yet, and it looks very hard. Like they're getting out of breath, but they can do it. Oh, sorry, John Bowerman is already on his second side. Pierroni is still on the first one, but I'm sure he will move in soon. Bowerman, he just did it. He's first in the standing block job, of course. And he has a personal best, doing great. Pierroni is still on it, but he's on his second side.
That's right. He's almost done. He's got his last couple of hits going there. He's got to give all he's got to get through. You can see it's a little bit higher than his other cut, so he's got to give it a little bit more power. And there we go. And he's done.
We can see the judges looking at their jobs, if they're all good, but the athletes, you can see them smile, so I guess it's
congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Oh yes, they are both good, and both personal bests, of course, with the rookies. So the Heat 2 is coming up soon. Now, while the guys clean up the stage, we'll see a slow-mo about the first heat of this discipline, the last we've seen.
So you can see those hard hits coming in from both of them. It's always kind of a deal, what kind of wood. Oh, you can see that he just had a slip up. That's something very important to keep an eye on, is to hold on to that axe, to have a hard grip on it. And there you go, he just finished it. While the other one, he's still going in, there you go.
And the Heat 2 is coming up. Ben Scott against Jack Morris. There's quite an age difference between them. 19 years against 25, so the youngest against the oldest. This is going to be interesting to watch. And as you can see, visitors are in the background, which is great for the atmosphere, and the start sound is coming.
Athletes ready.
So there we go. We have got Ben Scott on your left and Jake Morris on your right. So some hard hits going on in there. I think you got to try and keep on those lines so that when they turn, there you go. He just turned to the second side so that you can get through that log. Now, Morris is ahead. He's got a last couple more hits to go. Ben Scott's got a few more, but he's getting there. And Morris is done.
The younger one, yes.
Sorry, with a time of 30 seconds, .02. There's a new personal best for him.
The younger one, but still he has some bit of more experience because it's his second rookie championship, and Ben Scott, he's the first time at the championship, so we'll have mercy with him. He still had a great performance.
Both cuts are good.
That's what we want to hear. Yes, amazing.
Exactly, both cuts are good, and they're both a personal best.
And we see some slow-mo cuts with the axes. They are getting right into it. With a lot of strength, this discipline is completed. And they've all done great until now.
And just talk
So we already have talked about a few ways to become a rookie. Like there are a lot of, but what things, like those little things, what are they? Like diets? Do you have a strict diet, or do you have some workout routines you have to follow, or is it all up to you? How is it?
So, Pia, it is literally up to you. Everyone has their own routine, how they train, what they eat, what they do. Depends on where you work, what kind of job you're in. A lot of people come from a working job, so you already have a lot of training incorporated in that. But there are definitely a lot of challenges with getting equipment and finding a spot to train. But as you've already heard, you can go to STIHL TIMBERSPORTS and they will set you up with a club to go and train at.
Yeah, and there are quite a few clubs, but now, like at this championship today, we are very happy, not only the athletes, but we're very happy to have audience, which makes the atmosphere even better and even more amazing, because they are just hyping you up a lot. And about the atmosphere, we're going to see some impressions of that now.
It comes down to Mitch Argent and Shane Jordan
battling hard on the standing block. Who is it going to be? Is it going to be Australia or New Zealand? Oh my God, how close is this?
Atmosphere last night in the team's relay was unreal.
Oh, definitely. It'd be the noisiest crowd I've competed against.
Shane Jordan's already over there.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of getting goosebumps thinking about it right now.
The crowds here, they were just erupting.
You feel the energy of the crowd.
Oh my goodness, what a great comeback from Belgium with a time of 1.
The crowd was absolutely electric.
And it was so much noise and support.
Ja, doch, das pusht schon rum und mein Fanclub ist auch da.
Very passionate about their country and, yeah, their competitors.
Yeah, it feels super.
Oh my goodness, look at this.
It's pretty awesome to compete in front of a crowd like this.
But he's not giving up. He's looking good.
Like such an adrenaline rush. It's an amazing feeling.
Make a lot of noise, and that's good for our spirit.
It's going to be the Czech Republic, and the crowd goes bananas.
It's absolutely extreme here. Man hört.
Well, this is giving me chills, and we are heading straight into the heat number 3, Jake Buffner against Luke Bray. They're about the same age, and for both it's the second rookie championship, so it's quite equal. Although Jack Buffner, he has a lot of experience.
Okay, athletes ready.
So we have Jack Buffner to the left and Luke Bray to the right. They both got hard hits going on right there.
And Jack Buffner, as I just said, he has a bit more experience because he's doing it for work, for his job, and he's a third-generation chopper, so it's like in his genes to chop and cut and saw. Luke Bray, he's doing it for leisure. He's just into it.
So Luke Bray has already changed to the other side. He's got one more hit to go, and then he's got it off. Personal best again for both of them.
And as you can see, the times are pretty close to each other. That's crazy. That's quite a thrilling heat.
Exactly. They always go in the hundredths of a second. It's crazy.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Both cuts are good. That's the message we want to hear. That's the thing we want to hear.
And they will be happy with those times, definitely.
Oh yeah, they will. Because we are already in the second discipline. There are only 2 more to go, so if they are having now great times and performances like we will see in the slow-mo now, you can analyze their actions, their expressions. I think the facial expressions are always funny to watch.
That is true. You see, they're always doing their 4-hit system to get around in that block, to get that axe in, and then they switch to the other side and do the same thing again. Those are big chips coming out by those boys.
And now to the last heat of this discipline, where George Spencer is going up against Jordan Muscato. Both about the same age. George Spencer is a new rookie competitor. Jordan Muscato, it's already his 3rd rookie championship. So this is gonna be very exciting to watch. Don't you think so?
Yeah, definitely. So the time to beat is 30 seconds. So we'll see if Jordan Muscato can get that, or even George Spencer, who knows? It's everyone's luck of the draw. Everyone, if you got a good day, then you're good to go.
But Spencer here also said that his favorite discipline is the standing block chop. So this is gonna be interesting to watch. I think he's gonna rock. What do you think?
I agree. Let's take a look.
Okay, athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
So they almost both started at the same time. They got good hits going. Fast tempo. And look, there we go. We already got the change of the side by Muscato. Got a couple more hits there to go. Spencer has just started up on the second side. And Muscato is finished. New national record. We'll see that just in a moment once the time has adjusted. And George Spencer is also done with a new personal best. Wow, the whole row of them, they all have new personal bests. So we'll just see if these times get adjusted.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
There you go, you got it. 20 seconds, .50. New national record for Jordan Muscato.
That's amazing. So we're heading off to a recapitulation of this heat, a little recapitulation. I think, in my eyes, they have 2 different manners of chopping. Is that true? Or is it only the first impression?
Well, everybody chops a little bit different, how close they stand to the wood or a little farther away where they hold the axe, if they go flat into the wood or have a real angle.
Yeah, so we're gonna go now to an interview, hopefully, or before we're gonna talk a bit about the history of timber sports, because timber sports itself, the original extreme sport, has a long history. And first, the interview, as I've mentioned first. Alex, who are you talking to? What is up there on site in Telford?
Thanks, Pia. Yeah, I'm joined by a new national record holder in the rookies, Jordan Muscato. Jordan, you've just come downstage and I'll just let you know that you are a new national record holder in that discipline.
I can't believe it, really. I'm happy with that. Hopefully I can get another record in the other disciplines. But, yeah, stoked on that.
I noticed you've worked up a nice as well. What's been going on this morning?
Oh, I don't know. It's just the nerves, I think. I can't even see. I'm going onto the stage and I'm just wiping my eyes constantly. But hopefully I can sort myself out for the next ones.
Now, you'd had a bit of a whirlwind timber sports career pre-pandemic. Just talk us through like your own adventures in the world of chopping and sawing.
Yeah, so I've done this 2 years now. I've done this still, no, 3 years actually, and then got the chance to go to Italy chop for Great Britain. That was a good experience. I didn't do very well, but it was, you know, it was good to get out there and do it. But I think this is probably my last year in the rookie, so trying to make the most of it if I can.
I was going to say, are you looking to turn pro next, and what's on the horizon?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, try to get into the pros for sure. You know, got to step up at some point, haven't you? So, and I'm getting old as well, as you can see by the sweat.
Now we've got 2 disciplines left to go in the championships this morning. Have we seen your preferred event yet?
No, underhand's my preferred event, but single buck is. I'll be coming back worse than this. I'll be dripping mess after that. So I'm looking forward to the underhand. So. Be good to go.
Listen, mate, we'll let you regain your composure. Have a great rest of the morning, and we'll talk to you soon.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
So, yeah, we have a new national record at the Rookie Championships there, broken by Jordan Muscato. We'll be back very shortly with another athlete interview after the next discipline.
So thank you, Alex. Now we'll have a look at the standing block chop results and at the overall results, of course, as well. So standing block chop results. First place is Muscato, who just made a national record and who is pretty happy about it, as we just heard. Second is Spencer with only 7 milliseconds more. Third place is Morris Thorpe Bowerman. Fifth is Bray. The 6th place, it's Buffner on the 7th position, Scott, and finishing up is Pierroni, Oliver Pierroni. All guys with personal bests, of course, and the overall ranking looks a little bit different. On the first place, there is Spencer. On the second place, Muscato with the national record. On the third place, Morris. On the fourth, Bray. The fifth, Buffner. The 6th, Scott. 7th place is Baumann. And on the 8th position, again, is Oliver Pierroni. Now, well, that was quite a nice discipline in my eyes, but we are going to go straight into the next one, the single buck with assistance this time, and all you must know about this discipline and the tool is following up now.
The 2-meter-long cross-cut saw used for the single buck discipline is made especially for competition. A series of consistently patterned 10-centimeter-long teeth are cut with a laser on one side of the saw and then hand-sharpened. Saw teeth are divided into 2 types, cutters and rakers, just like on the old-school saws. The saw weighs about 5 kilos and its base price starts at around €1,500. Single buck. The single buck is a one-man saw about 2 meters long. With this, the athletes have to cut off a complete disc of a 46-centimeter thick wooden block. The perfect interplay between rhythm and strength is the key to success.
Our British legends are ready, so I quickly announced the start list of the 3rd discipline. So here we go. In Heat 1, that's a battle I'm definitely looking forward to, because George Spencer is going up against Oliver Pierroni. First place against the last place. In the 2nd heat, Ben Scott is going to go up against Luke Bray. In the 3rd heat, Jack Morris is going to compete against John Baumann. And in the 4th heat, Jordan Muscato is going to cut against Jake Buffner. And you could see the stage, and now you can see George Spencer, Oliver Pierroni, both ready to go. Quite a difference in the height. Like, one of them is the smallest. I think he's 168 centimeters tall, and the other one 180. So do you think this makes a difference for them?
It does make a little bit of difference. It makes a difference in their sawing technique.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
So you can see they both had a little bit of a issue at the start there. Pierroni is still having a little bit of an issue. That saw keeps getting hooked. Let's hope that he gets it. There we go. Now we get a little bit of a flow there by Pierroni. It's a nice long strokes. That's the way to go. He's almost, there we go. And Spencer is still at it. He's using his whole saw, but keeping the tempo slow. And he's almost got it. Perfect. 32 seconds and 77. New personal best for both athletes.
The judges still checking if the cookies are cut properly, but I think it looks good. Already packing up their sauce.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
So for the first round, we got 2 good cuts. That's a bonus, and with 2 personal bests, so be happy with that.
Quickly cleaning up the stage. We are ready for the slow-mo now, where you can see they already have a different way of standing just before they start.
That's right. Some athletes stand up tall so that they have a little bit of an angle, and others, mainly newcomers, they try to do a flat cut just to even out the weight of the saw so it doesn't get stuck. But depending on the saws that you have, some of them are a little bit more aggressive, so a lot of training is involved.
And the second heat is already starting. Ben Scott against Luke Bray. Ben Scott, a new rookie competitor, against Luke Bray, who has already done this once.
So they're just doing their in cut. This means it's just a small cut so that the saw is sitting properly, so when they start that it doesn't skip out of the wood. So Lucas just turned his saw. He's trying to get the last little bits of wood out of that cut so that when he starts, nothing gets caught up. As you see, they have a helper on stage. They will be doing some spraying and using a wedge once the saw is in the wood to open up the cut a little bit.
There are some athletes who prefer it without assistance. What is it with you? Like, do you prefer it with or without?
I'm definitely for with.
Okay.
Here we go.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
So you can see Ben has a very steep angle on his saw, but he's a tall boy. So they both are going, oh, Ben has a little bit of a hook up, but now it's a nice flow he's got going there. Both at the 16-second mark. And Ben has done it. He is through. Just Luke now at 25 seconds. He's going to give it all, and a couple more pulls, and then he'll be through. Oh no, his cookie has broken off, so he has to completely cut the cookie so that the judges can piece it back together. Otherwise, it will be a DQ. So this will be interesting to see what happens, what they decide, if they can piece that cookie back together.
That would be the first DQ in this championship.
Exactly, and that is something the athlete does not want. That means
no, definitely not.
0 points.
Also, he's third now, so if he has a DQ now, that wouldn't be good for his timing or for his standings.
No, not at all. So let's hope that they can piece that cookie back together.
And what you can see there on stage, that's the thing the judges throw when they have to review something, when there might be a DQ.
Yeah, the famous yellow flag.
Yes.
That is something we don't want to see on stage.
Nobody's
as
happy
an athlete.
about that. No.
That's right.
Okay, we had an investigation on stand 2 for an incomplete disc, unfortunately, so that's a disqualification. However, this cut is good.
So as you can see, it has happened. We have our first DQ in the competition. The judges were unable to piece that cookie back together.
But I gotta say, for a rookie championship, this is quite good. In the third discipline, the first DQ. And now we can hopefully see a bit closer when it's happening and why it's happening.
So by Luke, he may have cut a little bit of a small disc. You do have about 2 centimeters space to cut that complete cookie. If your saw is a little bit angled when you do your cut in, you keep cutting closer and closer to the edge of the cookie, and then there's the chance that it breaks off like it did.
So the third heat is coming up. Jack Morris against John Bowerman, who already have both a personal best in this discipline, and Jack Morris is until now better than John Bowerman, but we'll see what is happening now. It's a 19-year-old against a 24-year-old, so I think those age differences are so interesting, and if this affects their performance.
Well, we'll see that in just a moment. It all depends on that training that they've had, and with a single buck, it is a more difficult discipline to train because of the equipment. Not everyone has their own saws, and then it makes it a more difficult to train.
Also, it's a quite special tool, isn't it? Because it's not a normal saw. This is 2 meters long, and it's so sharp.
That's right. Here we go with the next heat.
Okay, athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Good start by both of them. The first couple of strokes are nice and short, and then they get into it with the long strokes. Oh, we got a couple of hookups there. They both are sawing at very steep angles, as you can see. Almost done by Bowerman. Oh, as well, a broke off cookie. Now he's got to try and cut that piece off so they can piece it back together. Jack Morris is also finished.
But neither of them used the whole length of the saw.
That's right. We say you bought the whole saw, so you might as well use the whole saw. But depending on the wood, depending on the day, sometimes you just use the middle part.
And it's a technique thing as well, isn't it?
That's right.
Getting all checked up. If these will be DQs, hopefully not.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Yes.
There you have it.
And the new personal best.
Exactly. Morris has a new personal best. That's great. You'll definitely be happy about that.
Oh, yes. And we can follow their sawing performance now a bit closer. You can see him getting stuck a little bit. I think that must be so demotivating when you are getting stuck at the beginning.
It is. It just means take a couple of deep breaths and give it all you got. Try to get that saw moving again. There you see the break off again.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to get it to pull through once you have that little piece.
And the last heat of this discipline is coming up now. Jordan Muscato against Jake Buffner. Both pretty experienced by now. Getting all ready.
24 years old.
These seconds before it starts, they are always like, oh, everybody has chills on site.
Exactly, so they got to make sure that their saw is in that in-cut properly, that they've placed their feet. They usually have spiked shoes on to give them a little bit better hold. So we'll see if one of those two gentlemen can beat the time to beat, 22.4 seconds.
With those shoes, you don't want them to get on your feet.
Okay, athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And they're off, both with good strokes going. No hookups yet. Oh, spoke too soon. But Muscato's got really steep, oh, that's buffed in there. Cutting fairly steep. And who's going to pull it off? Who's going to be the first one? Oh, Muscato. And a new personal best for Buffton.
So we got 1 DQ and until now 5 personal bests. That's quite good. That's amazing.
That's right, and the times have just been adjusted, so
Okay, congratulations.
Jordan Muscato
Both cuts are good.
has a best time of 21.58 seconds.
But still, it's not his personal best. Wow.
That's right, there.
Wow.
You could do more.
Yeah. Close up, you can see them now.
See those few short strokes before Muscato starts pulling that saw and tries to use the whole length.
So the ranking of this discipline is coming up now. As you can see at first, Muscato in the 2nd position is Scott in the 3rd position, Oliver Pierroni in the 4th, Buffner in the 5th, Morris also with a personal best as his colleagues, Spencer as well in the 6th place, in the 7th, Baumann, and in the last, Bray with a DQ. However, the overall standings, Bray is not on the last spot. He is a bit more, and we're looking pretty good until now. And we are coming up with an interview right now with Scott, and I'm really curious what he has to say. Alex, how is it on site? Are you good, guys?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Welcome back to Telford, ladies. It's great to have the smell of petrol wafting up my nostrils. So I've not been able to say that for a full year. And I'm also delighted to be joined by 2nd place athlete in that previous event, Ben, who you were very happy coming down that stage there. Ben, talk us through it.
Well, I bought a new saw just before lockdown, and obviously with COVID there's been no competition, so it's been collecting dust, and it's great to get the saw out and make a decent cut with it.
Yeah, I could see when the saw was being unsheathed that it was there was a glint in your eye and you were ready for action.
My girlfriend's in the crowd, and obviously when I said I need to spend a lot of money on my own single buck, and it was good to get it out and show at least a decent cut, and that the money was well spent.
Yeah, we know what Ben got for Christmas now in that case.
I think it's Christmas for the next 10 years. So.
Fantastic. Now, you've done a couple of these events. You were a newcomer last time out. Talk us through your pathway.
Well, I started STIHL Timbersports in, I think it was 2019, and went to the selection and got through that, and then just started training hard. And in the newcomers, I made a lot of rookie mistakes, but I'm glad to be back here today and correcting a lot of those mistakes I made originally. So, yeah, no, it's really good to be back.
How's it been for you as an overall experience here in Telford this year for the championships?
Oh, it's really enjoyable, and the wood's great, so it's lovely to hit some decent wood. You know, you often train on stuff that's full of knots, and compared to this is just butter, and the axe cuts are really good.
Ben, we wish you the best of luck for the rest of the competition. Enjoy the rest of the morning.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Okay, so that was Ben Scott, who finished second in the single buck. We are back to you guys in Munich. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. So that was quite a happy guy. I think there were some happy words. He seems to be very happy about his performance yet. And, well, as we mentioned before, the timber sports history is very long. It's an original extreme sport. But in Britain, it has a kind of different history, because it was first practiced in, I think, 1966, if I'm not wrong, because Australian guys, they toured and they showed what this sport is about. And since then, they formed some clubs, which is pretty nice. There are a few now.
Like there
That's
are many.
Right. They have a few clubs spread out over Great Britain. That's right.
Yeah, and they are all doing it professionally, don't they?
That is correct, with STIHL or also other competitions.
That's amazing. And for you, some more information about the history of timber sports itself is coming up now.
Expert woodsman who can cut down a tree more easily than most people can chop one up. When it really comes to tackling large lumps, you can't beat the men of the forestry companies.
An axeman's gathering.
So we're continuing with the British Rookie Championship with the last discipline. The time has passed so fast. The last discipline, underhand chop, a discipline many British athletes say it's their favorite because it needs less technique but more strength, and if it's like that, we'll see that now.
Underhand chop. In the past, the underhand chop technique was used to split logs. Standing on a horizontally anchored block, the athletes use an axe to cut through a 30-centimeter log. The block has to be worked from both sides. The axes used in timber sports definitely can't be bought at your local hardware store. Made from special steel, the blade is hand-sanded with an angle of 13 to 16 degrees. It's custom-built and carefully adjusted for each competition. The weight is around 3 kilos, and it's about 80 centimeters long. The blade is so sharp that you could shave with it.
Let's take a closer look at the last discipline. Here is the start list. In the first heat, Pierroni is going to go up against Buffner. In the second, Scott is going to compete against Spencer. The third is going to be completed by Morris against Bray. And the fourth, Bowerman against Muscato. And the double graphic is now here. Oliver Pierroni, 19 years old, against Jake Buffner, 20 years old.
So last preparations in way before they get on those blocks and start chopping. So you can see they have a second axe to the side just in case they need it.
Okay, athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Almost both started at the same time. Pierroni is a little bit quicker. Let's see if he can keep that going. Got some hard hits there going. Both of them are still on the same side. They haven't switched yet, and we're at the 22nd. Oh, there we go. Buffner has just switched. And Pierroni as well. So now only seconds to go, and I'm so Buffner will be done here shortly. Couple more hard hits.
And as their jobs are getting...
There you go. Drove it off. And a new personal best. And Pierroni, he's got another few hits there. Here we go. One more hit. Oh, and he's done. Also a personal best for him.
getting all checked out if the cuts are good. The chops, sorry if the chops are good. But it seems like they are perfect.
No yellow flag, that's always a good sign.
That's the enemy of
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Yes.
There you go. First round is done, and we got a personal best and the new time to beat at 41 seconds. So we just take a look at again at slow motion of these two gentlemen. See those axes going up and hard hits. Quick changeover is always important.
But disappointment, you could see disappointment in his face, even though he is first. So the second heat is coming up, Ben Scott against George Spencer. Both the same age. Quite a difference in experience.
Okay, athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
So both fairly slow at getting that axe, that first hit. Hoping that they pick up the pace here a little bit. But they're hard hits, cutting good. We're at 16 seconds and we got a switch. So Scott is just switching up there now. He decided to step off the log. As long as he doesn't make a hit, he's all right. And oh. That is a scary moment when an axe flies.
Yeah.
When it does, when it's you gotta keep a tight grip on those axes. And there we go, Ben Scott also with a new personal best, 45 seconds. So we'll see what the judges have to say here.
For both, it's their first competition, professional competition, rookie competition, but they both use axes and saws at work, so they have
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Experience, yeah.
Excellent. Both have personal bests. It's a good way to start.
Both Ben and George achieving new PBs with times to Ben at 45.01 and George at 31.9. It's great to hear as well that George
Cleaning up the stage, these men are doing hard work as well. This got to be mentioned. Running the whole day around and putting all this away. And we have a close-up of the second heat.
Exactly. We see Ben Scott and, oh, pardon me. So you see the switch there, and how his axe slips out of his hands.
This is so dangerous. Not only for him, but also for the people around. Anyway, there are a lot of different kinds of wood. I bet you have cut a lot, didn't you?
Exactly. No piece of wood is the same. So either you have what we call a melon, which is the optimal piece of wood.
Okay.
It's always a highlight if you get a melon, but you don't know what's in the wood. You can't see it. So
when do you know if the wood is good? Do you know it already beforehand or in the moment when you chop or cut?
You can see it a little bit beforehand, but you don't know what's on the inside. So it's always a surprise.
That's tricky. Well, we've prepared some information about good wood and bad wood and how it is prepared.
Hi, my name's Spike Milton, Global Sports Director for STIHL Timbersports. Today we are in a plantation of young poplar. One of the biggest challenges that I face as part of my role is to ensure that our competitions are supplied with the highest quality wood. We at STIHL TIMBERSPORTS pride ourselves that all wood is sustainably grown, harvested and recycled to minimise the overall amount of wood processed. Firstly, this popular wood is grown on certified plantations. These are fast-growing hybrids which are 100% sustainable. The plantations are predominantly used for the packaging industry, and therefore our trees can be considered as a side product. Secondly, the white pine for our sawing disciplines is only sourced from certified forest management. No matter where the wood is coming from, it is always harvested with minimum impact on the natural environment.
Each individual tree is examined for its conformation before processing. What we are looking for is consistency, which means not just how straight the tree is, but also how uniformly round the wood is. We need to make it fair for all athletes. So we are selecting different sections of the trees to use for each of our specific disciplines. I'm Bart Jensen, Head of Wood Management, and together with Spike we have a wealth of knowledge and experience with long-term sustainable wood management. With our resistograph we also measure the density of the wood. That is how hard or how soft the wood is and if there are nuts in it. To ensure the quality and high standards required for premium competition wood, we need to have a consistent grain structure with a uniform size, thus providing equal standards for all of our athletes. I don't see any nuts, so this tree is good for me.
Once the trees are felled, extracted and transported to our facilities, we measure, mark and then cut the wood into sized blocks.
Daan Jans here. As a specialist chainsaw operative, I oversee the further processing of our premium competition wood, from the plantation to the stage.
Removing all visible imperfections and knots which could affect the chopping or sawing of the block. We then peel the blocks ready for competition. Careful selection, the blocks then leave our yard and are distributed internationally to our STIHL TIMBERSPORTS competitions, guaranteeing fair competitions for all our pro, intermediate, rookie and women athletes.
After all our STIHL competitions, all the spent wood is collected and recycled right down to the wood chips and sawdust, which, for example, is converted into renewable energy in the form of wood pellets for biomass. Only 2/3 of all organic residues results from competitions. 1/3 is already from wood preparation. In order to achieve a long-term consistent premier wood supply for the coming years, we quest to find certified partners. This ensures that all newly planted trees are nurtured and managed, promoting maximum efficiency and sustainability for the future conservation of our valuable forests. Therefore, as you can see, with good harvesting practices and good management with silviculture, the ground is quickly replaced by new trees, or could even be used for arable for farmers and future rotations.
So it's ensured that they cut good wood, and so we're starting into the third heat. Jack Morris against Luke Bray. They both did first get into STIHL TIMBERSPORTS because of their family. That's quite a nice thing to have in common.
Definitely.
And it is a family sport.
Okay. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
You see big hard hits by these two young gentlemen. You hear the crowd cheering in the back. That's always a big help. Motivate these guys. Let's see. Oh, we got Jack Morris already turned. It's going to be a quick heat. And both are now on their last side. A couple more hits, I think, by Jack. Or will Bray catch up. Got a little bit of a stick there with the axe. That can happen if you haven't opened up your window enough. And Morris is done. 39.16. It's a personal best for him.
And second place. Amazing.
That's right. And also personal best for Bray. So you see the judges check in. One thing they're looking for is if the athlete has chopped into his footholds.
Congratulations. Both cuts are good.
If they have, it would be DQ.
That's right. That is a safety measurement that they do. Those footholds are for you to stand on and not to chop into.
Ah, okay. That's good to know. And slow-mo, we're seeing now their faces being prepared, getting all the focus on the chopping.
That's right, they both have two different postures by chopping. One stays a little bit more compact, the other one stands up a little bit higher. Everyone chops a little bit different. There's some good hard hits going on there. A lot of practice, a lot of time invested.
Now John Bauman is gonna go against Jordan Muscato. They are both in the same X club in Dorset X-Men. That's pretty funny. So they compete against their colleague.
That's right, but on the stage, they're...
no colleagues, no friendships. Only afterwards.
Exactly. So we'll see. Time to beat is 31 seconds, 98.
Both members of the Action Club, both in their third rookie championship. So something's got to give. They are aiming not to beat, of course, to beat each other, but the time in the centre of the stage at the top, 31.9 minutes. The time to beat.
Here we go.
Okay. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
John to your left and Jordan on your right. Some hard hits going in there. The name of the game is precision. Less hits, the quicker you are. Oh, we already got a turn by Muscato. Can he catch up and get it under 31 seconds? Oh, he has gotten it, and a new personal best. John's on his last couple of hits. You can just see it wiggling there already, and there he goes.
Well, Muscato, he is on the run. National best, personal best. Wow, he's into it today. He has a good day.
That's right. Sometimes it just all works out, falls into place.
Oh, yes.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Both cuts are good, and you can hear the audience cheering. How amazing is this? This is possible. That's just really, really cool.
Exactly. We can see here in the slow-mo how their chop was. See how he pulls that axe down, uses all the power. So those chips fly. You can see that one side had a couple of nails in there. They have a total of 6 minimum that they need to do. This allows that the wood does not split out when they do their first hit.
So you can see the ranking of the underhand chop, the last discipline now. In the first place, Jordan Muscato. In the second place, Spencer. In the third is Morris. The fourth position is covered by Bowerman. The fifth by Buffner. The sixth by Scott. The seventh, Bray. And finishing off is Oliver Pierroni. And the final results, there are some changes. So let's take a look at them. In the first place, Jordan Muscato. In the second, Spencer. In the third, Morris. In the fourth, Ben Scott. In the fifth, Jake Buffner. The sixth position is covered by John Baumann. The seventh, Luke Bray. And the eighth, again, Oliver Pierroni. So, what was that for a competition? But it's not the last one. It isn't. We're at the end of the season, but there are still some competitions to go. Well, let's have a look at them. On the 11th of September, we have the Swiss Championship in Aigle. And one day after that, we have the World Trophy European Qualifier, again in Aigle. And you will not be able to wait for this. On the 2nd October, it's the individual world championship, and it's not virtual like last year. This year, it is in Munich in the Kessel House again. It will be thrilling. And the other ones, of course, are, as you hopefully know, available on Amazon Prime, and you can watch them also on YouTube and on Facebook as well, of course. Well, what was that for our championship? It was quite a nice start for all the newcomers, wasn't it?
That was awesome. They did great. We have personal bests all over the board. So those gentlemen should be very, very happy with their
and only one
competition.
DQ.
That's right, 1 DQ.
So these are amazing results. I got a question, because one of them once said that he would advise to train flexibility. In which terms do you need flexibility in timber sports?
Pretty much every single discipline.
Really?
You need just about every muscle and be flexible as possible. You bend, you reach, it is a bonus if you're a little bit flexible.
Okay, so I wouldn't have expected that, because you're not doing splits or anything like that. So, guys, let's have a look at the overall rankings. Let's start with the prize ceremony, because they were amazing. And we'll start with the athletes 8 to 4. So on the 8th place is Oliver Pierroni, as we just mentioned, with amazing points of 10. On the 7th place, Luke Bray with 13 points. In position 6, John Baumann with, again, 13 points. In place 5th, Jake Buffner is finishing off. And to the 4th place, Ben Scott made it with amazing 18 points. And now we're gonna need the final 3, and I'm sure Alex is already prepared, being on stage with the three athletes, ready to announce them and their points. Alex, how are you?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Well, thanks. I'm delighted to join you again here from Telford, live from Telford. Yes, we can hear you, Munich. We have our 3 athletes ready to join the stage on the podium positions. In 3rd place, please give it up for Jack Morris. A total of 21 points for Jack. Great event from Jack. Make your way to the podium, please. All our medals today and prizes are being presented by Simon Hewitt, who is the head marketing for STIHL GB. Up next, in 2nd place, with a total of 25 points, give it up for George Spencer. Great first and last event at the Rookies for George. 25 years young. He'll be moving on, hopefully, to our pro circuit. And now we welcome onto the stage our champ, our British Rookie Champ 2021, amassing a total of 27 points over the 4 disciplines. We have Jordan Muscato. So fantastic work from Jordan. Ladies, back in the studio, it gives me great pleasure to say thank you for your endeavours this morning, and we'll see you this afternoon for our Pro GB Championships.
Well, thank you, Alex. You can see the big smiles, and the smiles are becoming even bigger because now the champagne shower is following. This will be a great mess. Seems like this is the most fun part in a competition. What are your thoughts on that?
It definitely is. But you can see once the three champions there on the first, second, and third places start, the other ones seem to find refuge behind other people or anything that's in that they can hide behind.
Yeah, it doesn't smell that good, I gotta admit that.
But it's so worth it.
Yeah. And the joy it is big. I think that's amazing to see. Well, that's been a nice championship. A really, really nice championship. What are your thoughts? Do you think something could have been better? Or what do you think the athletes are going to keep on working most?
Well, I think all the athletes will go back home, analyze now what has happened at this competition. Exactly right by the DQ, what can be done better next time. Most of them will check their points, check their times, and build up on that with their next training plan.
Yeah, I think they will do, and they will do greatly. But now what's coming up is an interview with the winner. Alex, what is Muscato saying? What are his feelings, his thoughts? Tell us.
Yes, we've gone from the sweet smell of petrol to the sweet smell of champagne, and Jordan is absolutely covered in it after his efforts this morning. Jordan, talk us through the event as a whole and how you've come around taking away the first place.
Well, I try to train as much as I can at home, so you know it's come up onto the stage finally. I've tried for a couple of years and it didn't work out, so it's good to get there in the end. So like I say, I've only got one more year left in the rookies if I do it, so I'm glad to get there in the end.
You can see the training's paid off for you. Most importantly, though, have you enjoyed yourself here this morning?
Definitely. I don't know if I think I prefer this, but yeah, I've had a good day. Yeah, really good.
Yeah. So, does this culminate the end of your rookie journey? What's next for you?
Well, yeah, I think I'll try to go into the pros next year if I can. But if not, then I'm happy to have another go in the rookies for sure. But yeah, the aim of the game is to go pro for sure.
Yeah. Now we know you've rubbed shoulders with some of the pros. You've got some great experience. You've been around the world with timber sports. But for you, yourself, what's the next thing for you? Will you celebrate here today in Telford?
I'd celebrate a little bit. I've got to drive home, but when I get home, I'll definitely make up for it, that's for sure. I'll be going straight to the pub, celebrating as much as I can.
Wouldn't exactly call that training, but good for you. Yeah. Listen, you've been a well-worthy champ for us today. You've shown us some fantastic endeavours, some great physical attributes. All the best to you and the rest of your timber sports career, Jordan. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So there we go, our champ today here at the GB Rookie Championships, Jordan Muscato. He comes out on top. We're going to be back this afternoon, as I say, with our pro athletes. Join us then. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you, Alex. Oh my God, I love the spirit of Jordan. Well, he's going to go to the pub now and party hard. He deserved it. He definitely has after this great performance and this great championship. Well, talking about... It has come to an end. It was a pretty fast championship in my eyes, but it's not ending here. If you are still up to something in timber sports, you gotta join today in the evening because the British Pro Championship 2021 is following up today. So, are you keen for today?
Oh yeah, it was an awesome competition, and it was a pleasure to be here.
It was a pleasure for us as well. You will be there at the Pros Championship as well. So
exactly. I'm so looking forward to that.
And there, the athletes will not only be from two nations, but from three, England, Scotland, and Wales. So be keen, tune in. And at this point, we want to say goodbye, and we will see the highlights of the day. Have fun.